I sit here with sadness today to report to you that I'm incredibly disappointed in one of my all-time favorite fighters, my brother, Floyd Money Mayweather. Ladies and gentlemen, chaos broke out. And I'm not talking about legit, bona fide boxing, pure boxing chaos. I'm talking about the kind of stuff that's just embarrassing. Look at this here, please.
This is a beautiful house, my man. How many square feet is this?
A little bit over 20,000 square feet. 3 or 4 levels.
Money Mayweather, seems appropriate that you would be living in Vegas.
My mentality is always about, working smarter, not harder.
Floyd Money Mayweather, once a symbol of boxing dominance and untouchable wealth, is now under scrutiny. Recent revelations paint a different picture, as sports analyst Stephen A. Smith raises questions about the stability of Mayweather's financial empire. Could the undefeated champ be stepping into the ring with his toughest opponent yet? Financial collapse? Let's unpack the $42 million scandal that's sending shockwaves through the boxing world.
The $1 million garage.
I know we're on television, Floyd, but I think it's necessary for me to say, damn.
Well, we on ESPN, this car costs $3.2 million. This Bugatti right here costs $1.6 million. It's close to 15 million. You're right, it's close to 15 million.
And you don't drive them?
No.
4 years, Floyd Mayweather has built his brand around being the highest paid athlete on the planet, proudly flaunting $100 million paydays every time he made headlines. But is the money man's image finally starting to crack?
Yes, she did.
Who got the highest gate?
Floyd Mayweather.
Who made the most money?
You did.
Who was the most accurate fighter of all time?
You were.
So it's basically saying that...
The greatest of all time.
Okay.
But now, a powerful voice from the fight world is dismantling that carefully crafted narrative. Former UFC title contender and analyst Chael Sonnen is calling it one of the greatest illusions in sports marketing, suggesting that Mayweather's so-called 9-figure fight checks may have been nothing more than smoke and mirrors.
Coined this phrase, fake news.
Yeah.
Why is he saying that? What does that even mean? You can trust the news. There's no such thing as fake. People were dressed up as empty seats, and I mean thousands of people.
No.
I bought my mother's ticket that day. That day, my mother decides that she wants to go to the fight. So I'm in there and I'm telling the world that this place is sold out because that's what's on the screen. And it's not even close. This isn't like, it's pretty much, this isn't, there's thousands of empty seats. That was the first time that in my own life I ever just, wow, fake news is real.
Wow.
And then Mayweather, they wanted a rematch. They were begging. They were doing more media trying to get a rematch than they did leading into the first match. And the guys that wrote the check.
So while Mayweather flaunted watches, private jets, and bank slips, Chael Sonnen argues a hard financial proof was never actually there. No broadcast partner confirmation, no third-party verification, just headlines and hype.
Whoever puts that press release and sends it out, never has a company that's publicly traded had an executive back those numbers. They're all lies.
And that brings us to a brutal question. Was Mayweather's empire built on real checks, or just hype, ego, and PR sleight of hand? Chael Sonnen isn't the only one raising eyebrows. With financial lawsuits, unpaid jewelry bills, and a looming crypto scam lawsuit, the cracks in the money brand are no longer whispers. They are warnings. Floyd Mayweather has long been the face of untouchable wealth in boxing, the man who turned luxury into a lifestyle and turned money into persona. But behind the jets, watches, and million-dollar shopping sprees, the illusion may be unraveling faster than anyone expected. Mayweather might be broke. No one saying it outright, except his old rivals. Even Oscar de la Hoya, once a fierce opponent and more recently a reluctant defender, has been forced to acknowledge the writing on the wall.
You have to stop embarrassing yourself with these exhibitions. I know life is hard, I know life is expensive, but come on, dude, put your legacy first. Nobody wants to remember you like this. And it gets worse, your jeweler filed a lawsuit against you in Miami. And many are saying you're gonna have to sell off your assets. I hate seeing this happen, bro.
Coming from a promoter who's seen both sides of boxing's business, De La Hoya's comments weren't just casual criticism. They read more like a financial obituary. The jewelry lawsuits, the swirling asset rumors, the never-ending exhibition fights, all signs that Mayweather's so-called billion-dollar empire might not be as bulletproof as the public once believed. And the fact that De La Hoya, once a bitter rival, is now offering sympathy instead of shade, that says more than any leaked bank statement ever could. But here's the twist. Mayweather didn't stay quiet. While De La Hoya publicly struck a tone of concern, Floyd fired back, reminding the world of their real business history. When it comes to money and loyalty, Mayweather has long hinted that De La Hoya wasn't exactly the cleanest player behind the scenes.
We helped build this guy up. He was fighting on my undercard. He was the co-main. We helped build this guy up. And you know what Oscar De La Hoya do? You know what Mr. Loyal Oscar De La Hoya do? I'm sorry, Miss Disloyal Oscar De La Hoya do? He take him right over to HBO and cut a deal with HBO. And when he cut the deal, he got money, but I bet Canelo didn't see none. But these are the things that people don't know about in a sport of boxing.
For a man who built his entire persona on flaunting wealth, this goes far beyond Canelo or past business beefs. Mayweather has been dropping subtle hints about a deeper pattern, undisclosed deals, off-the-books payouts, and financial gains that were once hidden behind luxury but are now surfacing through lawsuits, unpaid debts, and quiet asset sales. And it's not just financial analysts and retired legends raising red flags. Even fighters from his own era and opponents who once shared the ring are starting to pull the mask off. Logan Paul, who went toe-to-toe with Mayweather in a high-profile exhibition, is still chasing a payday that, according to him, mysteriously vanished post-fight. And Paul, frustration? He didn't pull any punches.
No, I got paid. I got paid. Just not in full. Like, there's a couple million somehow that is just missing. Where did the money go? Floyd said he could afford a Jeff Bezos-sized jet from the money he made from that fight. I ain't got a jet. What the fuck, dude? I'm missing a couple mil. We're gonna find it, bro. I'll see you in court. The audit's happening. Just like, mark my words, we're coming for you, Floyd. We're coming for your millions and the last of your change.
A court case, missing millions.
A court case, missing millions. And yet another crack in the Money Mayweather brand. What began as a flashy boxing exhibition has now turned into a financial manhunt. And Logan Paul isn't the only one sounding the alarm. He's just the loudest. When fighters are forced to chase their payouts through courtrooms instead of cashing checks, one thing becomes painfully clear. The real question isn't if Mayweather's financial empire is in trouble. It's whether it's already running on fumes. Even as Logan Paul moved forward with his lawsuit, claiming Mayweather never paid his full cut from their fight, Floyd didn't back down. In true Mayweather fashion, he flipped the blame onto the business itself and shrugged off the scandal like it was nothing more than loose change.
Right away. Just like I'm still collecting checks from fights 7 or 8 years ago. I'm still collecting checks. Why? Because I made smart moves and I'm my own boss. So they hate when the tables turn. You know, look how many years they've been owing us money. But we never, hey, we don't never trip. So now when the tables turn, they say, oh, you owe us something. Be happy with the biggest payday you ever got in your life.
Mayweather's calm dismissal.
Mayweather may have calmly brushed off a lawsuit as just another day in business, but the timing told a different story. With unpaid opponents, jewelers filing claims, and whispers of quiet asset sales, Floyd's once impenetrable financial fortress is feeling pressure from all sides. And no slick deflection can mask the growing list of people still waiting for their checks. Logan Paul's lawsuit doesn't just expose a missed payday. It pulls back the curtain on a side of Mayweather's empire most fans never see. For years, Floyd wasn't just making money in the ring. He was controlling the flow of money around it. From buying out entire ticket sections before the public could and flipping them for massive profits, Mayweather's hustle extended far beyond fight night.
He is the promotional arm of his fights. It's why, in part, he makes so much money, because whereas a normal promotional company will take 30%, he is that. And so oftentimes for his fights, before the tickets can go on sale to the public, or like right as they go on sale, he'll buy a whole wing, a whole section, and then he'll sell them at a higher price, marked up, so he can make, you know,
like all the floor seats. He takes all of them.
All of them, 3, 4, 5x, and it's part of his business.
On the surface, Logan even admitted the strategy itself.
What started as a savvy business move has slowly unraveled into accusations of false promises, unpaid returns, and courtroom battles. Logan Paul's words echo a troubling pattern that's becoming impossible to ignore. A growing list of fighters, investors, and partners still waiting for Mayweather to settle the bill. While Mayweather's public persona continues to revolve around private jets and million-dollar shopping sprees, the cracks in the Money Mayweather empire are starting to surface. And this time, the accusations aren't coming from journalists or disgruntled ex-promoters. They're coming from the very people who stepped into the ring with him. Logan Paul, who shared one of the most-watched exhibition fights of the decade against Mayweather, revealed that the real battle didn't end when the final bell rang. It began once the cameras stopped rolling. According to Logan, the paycheck that was promised, it still hasn't arrived.
Particular lawsuit, he had an investor pay $1.4 million in total for this section, and the investor was promised that the seats would sell at I think a 7 to 8x multiple, and he expected a return on his investment. And sure enough, he didn't get his initial investment back. He's strung along. He gets like 100K here and there, strung along, not getting paid. Now his investment allegedly is being rolled into Floyd's alleged fight with Manny Pacquiao, and so the investors being strung along on this thing, and eventually, like us, it's like, yo, we're simply not getting paid in full. Like, we've been fucking dragged along for way too long now, and this guy finally filed a lawsuit against Floyd Mayweather. So that's the one that's actually active and pending, and then here we are.
The moment Logan's words hit the internet, the illusion of Mayweather's untouchable wealth began to crumble even further. This wasn't a disgruntled promoter or an old rival lurking in the shadows. This was a man who had stood in the same ring, shaken the same hands, and signed the same contracts. Floyd Mayweather, always confident and unapologetically flaunting his lavish lifestyle, continues to remind the world that no matter the public's perception of him, his success remains undeniable. His words are a reminder of the wealth he's amassed and the empire is built through a mix of grit, business savvy, and relentless hustle.
Or is that something that you can't disclose right now?
He has not paid me in full. That is a fact.
No.
Short a few mil, yeah.
Wow. Still a few mil.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Have you been in contact with him?
Nah, we're taking this for the court.
No, are you being serious? Is this like a
Do I look serious, lady?
You do. I'm just making sure. I apologize.
Really?
I'm just...
Nah, I'm fucking with you. I'm not fucking with you. Yeah, we're taking it to court.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. So,
yeah, see you in the courtroom. Congrats, you're going to prison, Floyd.
The moment Logan's words hit the internet,
these statements aren't just a flex. They're a testament to the fact that, despite the challenges he's faced both in and out of the ring, Mayweather remains a financial powerhouse, one whose lifestyle continues to be the envy of sports and beyond. While Floyd Mayweather continues to thrive financially and dominate the boxing world, not everyone is on board with his recent decisions. Critics, including Stephen A. Smith, have been vocal about his choice to step into exhibition fights with non-boxers, most notably the infamous Logan Paul matchup. In Smith's eyes, Mayweather is risking his legendary status by facing opponents who don't belong in the ring, thereby diminishing the value of his career. For Smith, Mayweather's recent moves reflect a dangerous pursuit of money at the cost of his legacy.
That takes care of everything when everything is okay. I still got my private jets. Let me put an S on that because I got 3 of them. Still got my private jets. I still have all my beautiful homes, still have all my properties everywhere, and still making millions every month.
So you didn't take These statements are more than just a flex.
While Stephen A. Smith acknowledges Floyd's unmatched ability to generate income, he's sharply critical of the decision to give attention to fights that don't showcase real boxing talent. In his eyes, exhibition bouts with the likes of Logan Paul, who lacks any legitimate boxing background, tarnish Mayweather's legacy and undermine the integrity of the sport. Smith believes Floyd has nothing left to prove and should focus on preserving his legendary status rather than indulging in headline-grabbing matchups that fail to contribute to his true legacy in the ring. They say the higher you climb, the harder you fall. For Floyd Mayweather, that fall might have already happened, just behind closed doors. The man who once flaunted his millions on camera, tossing cash like confetti, is now surrounded by lawsuits, unpaid debts, and rumors of financial empire crumbling from within. For years, Mayweather convinced the world he was untouchable, the king of pay-per-view, the master of luxury, the man who turned boxing into a billion-dollar business. But what if the money was never really there? What if the private jets, diamond chains, and flashy bank slips were nothing more than props in the greatest financial illusion the fight world has ever seen?
And you are as great as Floyd Money Mayweather. Everybody doesn't deserve to be in your space. I know you like to make money. You're never gonna stop making money. Very, very few people on the planet know how to make money like you know how to make money. But some of this stuff has got to stop. You want to get Conor McGregor in the ring for an exhibition match, all right, that's fine. You know, Conor sold that. It was great marketing. He's not a boxer, but hey, he was a knockout artist in the UFC. I get it. Fair enough. But what I'm trying to say is this. When you're great, when you're elite, not just anybody deserves to be in your pristine space. And what I mean by that is I'm not talking about on the street or anything like that. Boxing is your thing.
The $42 million scandal isn't just a headline, it's a warning. Behind the designer suits and staged Instagram photos, the truth about Floyd Mayweather's so-called fortune is starting to surface. And this time, no amount of PR can save the money brand from bankruptcy. If you thought the $42 million scandal was the end of the story, think again. The deeper this rabbit hole goes, the uglier the truth becomes for Mayweather. Beneath the Instagram filters and private jet photo ops, the real Floyd might just be another victim of his own ego, a man so obsessed with looking rich that he forgot to stay rich. And when Stephen A. Smith starts questioning your financial reality on national TV, it's no longer just a case of haters talking. It's a clear sign that the walls are closing in. Floyd Mayweather didn't just sell fights, he sold the dream of untouchable wealth. But the moment you peel away the flashy watches and stage bank slips, all that's left is a man running out of time, out of luck, and by the looks of these lawsuits, out of money. The $42 million scam wasn't just a bad business move. It might have been the final nail in the coffin for the Money Mayweather myth. So, what do you think? Is Mayweather's money empire finally crumbling, or has he been playing the world all along? Share your thoughts in the comment section.
Man, and it's crazy, but it's happening. Yeah, 50 Cent is pretty much exposing the fact that Floyd Mayweather is having issues, but it was not 50 that started it. It was actually Business Insider.
They got Floyd here. It says Floyd Mayweather is stepping into Manhattan's multi-family ring in a big way. The retired boxer has gone into a contract to pay $420 million for a 1,000-unit affordable housing portfolio with more than 60 buildings, according to sources familiar to the deal. Josh Gotti of Black Spruce Management is the seller, and Black Spruce Magazine declined comment. It says also here that the investor partnered with Maynard Orchard on a $1.8 billion deal for 1,766 units spanning 6 rental buildings and in acquisition of the American Cooper Building, twin luxury towers in Murray Hills with the view of the